Breaking news today, Russian missiles rained down on Ukraine and NATO countries scrambled to send warplanes. Poland scrambled fighter jets to shield its airspace on Friday as Ukraine was hit with a barrage of Russian missiles and drones. The Polish air pressure said in an announcement on X, formerly called Twitter, that the jets had been released amid excessive lengthy-range aviation pastime and missile strikes from Russia on Ukrainian territory. Just days in advance, on March 24, a Russian cruise missile fired at western Ukraine entered NATO member Poland's airspace, Warsaw's Navy stated. All necessary approaches aimed at ensuring the protection of Polish airspace had been activated, and the operational command of the Polish Air Force is tracking the situation continuously, the Polish Air Pressures publish on X stated on Friday. Please be aware that Polish and Allied aircraft perform in Polish airspace, which may additionally bring about increased noise degrees, specifically in the southeastern part of the USA. Moscow launched a massive-scale missile attack on Ukraine with missiles and drones in the early hours of Friday. Ukraine's air pressure said on Telegram that Russia released 99 missiles and drones, which include Shahid drones, Kh-47M2 Kinzhal aeroballistic missiles, Iskander-136 ballistic missiles, Kh-59 guided aircraft missiles, for Iskander-OK cruise missiles and 21 Kh-101/Kh-555 cruise missiles. The enemy launched a powerful missile airstrike against the centers of the fuel and power quarter of Ukraine, the use of diverse types of missiles and assault UAVs, unmanned aerial motors, the air pressure said, including that air protection structures downed 84 of the 99 launched guns. Honor and praise to all who guard Ukraine from Russian terror. Thanks to your fight efforts. Thank you for this result, the Post introduced. Ukraine's country-wide strength grid operator Ukrenergo said the target of the Russian assault was the U.S. energy infrastructure facilities. Government stated thermal and hydroelectric strength vegetation in Ukraine's critical and western areas have been broken, at the same time as energy outages have been mentioned in the Dnipropetrovsk and Kharkiv regions. Ukraine's power minister German Galashchenko said energy centers in the Dnipropetrovsk, Poltava and Cherkasy areas have been centered. Strength technology centers were targeted by way of drones and missiles, he stated on Facebook. On March 24, Poland said a Russian missile crossed into Polish airspace close to the eastern village of Ozerdau, near the U.S. border with Ukraine, at simply before 4:30 a.m. neighborhood time, 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time March 23, and that it was in NATO airspace for 39 seconds. Among other things, Polish and Allied aviation became activated, the Polish military said in a statement on X at the time. This might also bring about increased noise ranges, in particular inside the southeastern part of the USA. Russia shoots down its own Su-27 fighter jet over Black Sea, Kyiv. Russian forces downed considered one of their very own Sukhoi Su-27 fighter jets over Crimea by means of accident, consistent with Kyiv. A kingdom of heightened fight readiness turned into in charge for the incident over the occupied peninsula on Thursday, Ukraine's military spokesman Dmytro Pletenchuk stated on Ukrainian TV. The Moscow-installed leader in Sevastopol, Mikhail Razvozeyev, had stated that a Russian warplane had crashed off the Crimean coast without naming the motive and that the pilot ejected adequately and turned into picked up through rescue services. Russian Telegram channels shared purported pictures of the plane which turned into burning as it fell and a parachute of the ejected pilot. The Crimean Wind Telegram channel claimed the aircraft became by chance shot down by way of Russia's own forces, after commencing from the Belbek Army airfield. However, Pletenchuk informed Ukrainian television on Friday, "We verify that this plane belonged to the Russian Federation and that it became destroyed by their own forces. They had been on alert, on fight readiness. The human factor changed into at work. One of the operators changed into eager to get a medal and didn't bother to find out whose aircraft it was," he added, in step with a document of his remarks through Ukrainian outlet Pravda. Over the past months, Russia's air pressure has suffered mainly heavy plane losses inclusive of greater than a dozen warplanes together with Su-34 fighter bombers, Su-35 fighter jets, and an extraordinary A-50 military secret agent aircraft. Meanwhile, Ukraine is watching for a lift in its personal aviation abilities, saying that the primary F-16 fighter jet supplied by using its allies could be in operation inside a few months. Following the U.S. popularity of the Yankee-made planes for use, a coalition of countries has pledged to offer the fourth-era jets whose era is a step up from the Soviet technology MiG and Sukhoi jets Kyiv now relies on. Belgian Protection Minister Ludovine de Donder announced on Friday a Navy assistance bundle, which incorporates $107 million to keep and support the jets. Denmark stated Ukraine ought to receive its F-16 fighter jets this summertime, and the Telegraph expected that Kyiv may additionally receive as many as 60 of the aircraft. While requested about Ukraine getting the plane from allies, Russian President Vladimir Putin said this week that they would be a valid target for Russian pilots even on airfields of third countries. "We can break their planes inside the same manner that we damage their tanks and different gadget," he said on the 344th Military Aviation Center in Torshok, 160 miles northwest of Moscow, despite the fact that he brushed off speculation that Russia might assault NATO contributors as nonsense.